All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, October 17th, 2023, and of course, we just finished with week 6 of the NFL, so it's only kind of natural. It's only the right next step to go on to week 7. Naturally, right? You wouldn't go to week 11 out of nowhere. That'd be kind of weird. Just be like, all right, we just finished with week 6, so now we're on to week 17. It's like, what? That doesn't add up. But anyway, we have week 7 to go over. Real quick on week 6, we wound up going 10-5, which is pretty good. We improved on our terrible week 5 when we went 6-8. Oof. So it was nice to see a good week. We missed obviously on a few big upsets with the Browns and the Jets beating the Eagles and 49ers. And I think we missed on the Ravens. We missed our big upset pick on the Ravens, but that's all right. We picked the Titans to win, but just have to hope we do better this week. And yeah. Oh yeah, there's the pick'em record. Oh, and by the way, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, just to get the YouTube stuff out of the way. And make sure you leave your picks in the comment section below. I like to read those, like to see how you're doing on your pick'ems. Leave your records, leave whatever you want associated with that. I just like to see how everybody's doing, and you're probably doing better than me, so why not brag a little, huh? But yeah, we're 56-37 overall. We're back up to 60%, so that's looking pretty good. We're hoping that this week is really good, and we don't have to worry about another yikes week. That'd be good. But anyway, let's go. Oh, we got more buys this week. Quite a few this time. We only have 13 games because there are 6 teams buy, so 3 less games. We have the Panthers, Bengals, Cowboys, Texans, Jets, and Titans. So, much needed week off for a lot of these teams. The Panthers to get right, Bengals to get a little healthier, Cowboys just to kind of refocus and everything. Texans, they probably could actually keep playing. They don't need time off. Jets, just get healthy, and the Titans to figure out what the hell's going on. And Tannehill has a high ankle sprain, so that's pretty helpful. Hey, excuse me. Yeah, that's about it for the bye weeks. Let's hop into Thursday Night Football. Really good game. Kind of. The Jacksonville Jaguars take on the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are 4-2 off a 37-20 win versus the Colts, and the Saints are 3-3 off of a loss to the Texans, 20-13. Saints are favored by 3 with an over/under of 39. On Wednesday, we'll probably know more about what's going on with Trevor Lawrence and his knee. I'm going on the assumption that he's going to play because they said it's just day to day and it's not like anything super serious. So sounds like he's going to be good to go. And if he does play, I like them to win. The Saints or the Jaguars have been playing very good defense the last 3-4 weeks, pretty much all season. They've been playing sneaky good defense again. They seem to be clicking slowly together on offense, getting things right. They just looked really good against the Colts, who've been pretty good this year in terms of defensive play and everything like that. Let me take a drink real quick. And yeah, with the Saints, it seems like they're super inconsistent. One week they'll look really good. I mean, defensively they look really good overall every week, but offensively they seem like one week they're good, they're hit and miss. They look good against the Patriots, but then bad against a bunch of other teams. So right now it's kind of hard to pick the Saints in a game in which the Jaguars have been playing good defense, they've been playing pretty good offense, and the Saints have been kind of like a streaky, inconsistent team so far. Would it be surprising if the Saints could win this? No, not really, but it feels like this is the Jags game to lose. Now, if the Jaguars don't have Trevor Lawrence, I'm probably going to go with the Saints just because of the Saints defense at home Thursday night, but we'll double check that game tomorrow. All right, let's go on to the 1 o'clock games. We've got 6 of these to go over. We got the Detroit Lions taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Probably one of the better games of the weekend. The Lions are 5-1, one of the 5 best teams in football, with a 20-6 win over the Buccaneers, and the Ravens are 4-2, just out of that conversation, with a 24-16 win over the Titans. Ravens are favored by 3 with an over/under of 41.5. So the reason I'm leaning Detroit in this game is when I look at all right, so one of the things the Ravens do really well is kind of run the ball. They use the run to set up their passing game, which is a little weak, but it does do better when the run game's really working well. Lamar's able to run, Edwards is able to run. They're able to kind of just kick their feet loose and move up and down the field that way. But one of the things the Lions do really well on defense is stop the run. They haven't given up 100 yards yet to a single team. All season. I think they're right around 500 total yards given up, maybe 400 or so. So that's kind of an impressive stat when you think about that. And the Lions overall defensively have been really good. I mean, their pass defense is a little shaky, but outside of like that game against Seattle, Detroit's been really good on defense. Also, Detroit's like last, 4 straight wins. They've been by 14 or more points. They're 3-0 on the road, so it's not like they may be a little bit worse on the road, but they're still undefeated. They're still outscoring opponents by 14 points in each of their last 4. So the Lions are literally playing white hot offense, white hot defense, and they're doing all of this with a weird scale of injuries. It's like wow, this is a really good football team. Whereas like the Ravens have been good too, overcoming injuries, beating everyone they're playing. It's just I feel like the Lions have been so impressive to me in terms of their defense, just completely smothering teams. And now they're going up against a run-first football team that uses the run to set up the pass. And if you take away their run, are they going to be able to pass as effectively as they need to be? Especially when we've seen all the passing woes the Ravens have had this year with the drops and just kind of, you know what I mean, like the receivers not playing up to their potential. So with that situation, I'm kind of leaning on the Lions in this one. And I also think the Lions are gonna, I know it was a couple years ago, but I think the Lions want revenge for that really long kick that Justin Tucker hit to win the game the last time they played, even though the clock was well past 0. So I'm gonna go with the Lions in this one. And yeah, ooh, that should be a game of the week though. Lions and Ravens. Raiders take on the Bears. Raiders are coming off a 21-17 win versus the Patriots, and the Bears are coming off a 19-13 loss to the Vikings. Raiders are favored by 3 with an over-under of 37.5. I got the Raiders winning this one. It's one of them things where I'm like, all right, Raiders play pretty solid defense. Bears don't got an offensive line. I could imagine this is going to be a game where the Bears struggle to put up any kind of offense, and the Raiders can kind of just meander their way to a victory like they did against the Patriots. Kind of rinse and repeat for the old Raiders. Plus, Chicago is very bad. Another pretty good game this weekend will be the Browns taking on the Colts. Browns are 2.5-point favorites with an over-under of 39.5. Browns are 3-2 coming off a crazy upset versus the 49ers, 19-17. And the Colts just got drugged by the Jaguars, 37-20. Maybe if Anthony Richardson was playing in this game, I'd like to take the Colts. But I do think that the Browns defensively pretty much just stifle Gardner Minshew and the Colts offense to pretty much nothing. We've seen what they're capable of doing, and we know that the Browns can probably meander their way to about 17 points. Maybe their defense gets involved and gets a touchdown in there for them. But yeah, the Browns offensively have not been great this year, and they don't look great, but defensively they're about as good as any other team in the NFL is, maybe one of the top 3. So they'll probably stifle a Colts offense that, Anyway, let's go to the next 3 1 o'clock games. I got the Browns, if that wasn't obvious. Poor Patriots. They got to take on the mean old Buffalo Bills. The Bills are favored by 8.5 with an over-under of 41.5. The Bills are coming off a win versus the Giants, just barely 14-9. And we just talked about the Patriots losing 21-17. And basically, you got to go with Buffalo in this game. I want to pick my team. They're home, division rivalry, but it's just the offense has been so bad. They don't have an offensive line. The receiving core isn't great. Defense is all banged up, so I have no idea how this is going to go, especially since our corner situation is an idea. Let's just hope the Patriots can keep it close and not lose by 9 points. Let's just hope that happens, eh? We're officially in the Patriots suck era, and it's a sad time. Anyway, I got the Bills. It shouldn't be much of a game. This one's an interesting pick, I think. The Washington Commanders take on the New York Giants. Commanders are 1.5-point favorites with an over-under of 40.5. The Bills, we just talked about the Giants losing to the Bills, and the Washington Commanders beat the Falcons 24-16. If the Commanders were playing any other team, I probably wouldn't pick them, seeing as Atlanta could have won that game 6 times if they had just stopped throwing interceptions in the fourth quarter. So the reason I'm picking... Oh, wait, I did pick the Giants to lose. Yeah, that's a big reason. I completely forgot I didn't pick the Commanders to win this game. Yeah, I even tricked myself there. What the hell? Yeah, the Giants are so bad. I even have it on my screen as the Giants win, and I'm like, yeah, I have the Commanders winning. But no, I have them losing. Basically, that situation with the Falcons at the end there, it's yeah, they should have lost that game 3 times. But also, the Giants just seem to have this magic spell over the Commanders where they always win. I know Daniel Jones probably won't play, but it seems like it's just the Giants as a team beat the Commanders. And I imagine that home win is even more extensive for them. Plus, I'm just giving them a little bit of love after what they did to the Bills. If they defensively can do that to the Commanders, they could win this game 10-0, like 10-7 or something like that, like some terrible game, some terrible score. Basically, I'm just giving a bit of respect to the Giants and their domination of the Washington football team, Commanders, Redskins, whatever you want to call them, over the forever, at least in my most recent memory. So yeah, I'll go Giants. All right, we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks are 2.5-point favorites with an over/under of 38.5. We've talked about all the games. The Bucks lost to the Lions. Falcons lost to the Commanders. So basically, I'm going with Tampa in this game because I think defensively they'll pretty much shut down everything the Falcons can do. Think like what the Commanders did to the Falcons, what the Lions did to the Falcons. Basically what any good defensive team can do to Atlanta, basically shut down the pass, take away the run, and Atlanta becomes super one-dimensional. And yeah, I don't know, Tampa's offense will probably do a lot better than they did against the Lions, especially since, you know, Atlanta's defense isn't anywhere near what Detroit can do. Yeah, Tampa's probably going to use this as a get-right game, rebound game after a very tough game against Detroit. I don't know. Falcons, I think they're just finished, especially now that they can't win at home. Winning on the road, impossible. We're going to see the worst version of Desmond Ridder again. You know, it's like clockwork with these dudes. Plus, you know, you can only pick the Falcons when you should pick the Falcons. And I made a mistake of picking the Falcons last week, and I paid for it dearly. So, to never pick the Falcons. Anyway, let's go on to the 4 o'clock games. You know, got a few more to go over. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who were bye last week, take on the Los Angeles Rams, who won 26-9 over the Cardinals. Rams are 3-point favorites with an over/under of 43.5. Yeah, I got the Rams. I think defensively they'll be able to shut down this whatever the hell the Steelers are going to run at offense, whether it be Pickett, Trubisky, the Fun Buddies. I don't know who the hell they got going on there. The situation for them is bad offensive line, bad offense, going up against a Rams defense that's pretty solid this year, that's been pretty good again, actually, I will say. I can imagine Donald having a big game, keeping them rather frustrated. And again, the Rams offense may struggle a little bit against the Steelers defense, who's been really, really good this year and pretty much won them all their games. But I do think that the Rams offense is slowly starting to get going, like slowly revving up with Cooper and Nakua and with Stafford and Kyron Williams. Hopefully he's all healthy and good to go. So we're starting to slowly see this Rams offense take a new identity and shape itself. And tough game for them. But again, I think because of their defense, they'll be able to hold off the Steelers and win this game basically because their defense doesn't really make many mistakes and gives them a good bit of breathing room. So I don't know. I like the Rams over the Steelers. Poor Arizona, man. They're actually playing good football, like somewhat, and they're like they don't deserve to be 1-5. The Arizona Cardinals take on the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 7.5 with an over/under of 44.5. The only game we haven't talked about is the Seahawks, and they lost to the Bengals 17-13. Yeah, I got the Seahawks. Basically, the Cardinals are just kind of a bad team, but they play pretty good football. They stay in games. They're not like completely destitute like other 1-5 teams. It feels like if they had slightly better quarterback play and a few better, like a 1 or 2 fixes to the Cardinals, and it feels like next year they can be very good again. But again, right now it's just, you know, they're not going to be able to stop Seattle's offense. Seattle's defense could pretty much shut that whole thing down. So yeah, pretty easy win for the old Seahawks. Boy, what do we got? Oh, we got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Denver Broncos. Talk about game of the year candidate, right? Jordan Love taking on Russell Wilson. Ooh, bet you there's 20 people excited about that one. Packers are 1.5-point favorites with an over/under of 45. Packers coming off a bye. Broncos coming off a 19-8 loss to the Chiefs. That's a pretty good game by their defense. Basically, I referenced the defense in jest because, again, the Broncos defense has been pretty bad this year, especially the run. I think the Packers have Aaron Jones coming back this week with Dylan in better health. They're going to be well rested. They're going to have a good game plan to go up against this Denver defense. So I kind of like those odds, that the fact that, you know, like I said, Jones is back. They should be able to use Dylan a bit more effectively because of that. So, you know, you got the run game back. You have, you know, which should open up against the pass against this Denver defense. So ultimately, I do think the Packers can win this game. They should be able to hold off the Denver offense, which is really streaky, really inconsistent, really just not that big of a threat. The only reason it's going to be close is because it's in Denver, I guess. Boy, I hate the Chargers. You know, I picked the Chargers to like shock the world and win their division this year, but then I forgot because I thought Brandon Staley was going to be a good coach finally, and then it's like, nope, he's just as bad as always. Los Angeles Chargers take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chargers lost last night 20-17 to the Cowboys in a pretty good game, and we just talked about the Chiefs, so they won. 5-1 versus 2-3. The Chiefs are favored by 6 with an over-under of 49.5. Yeah, basically against any good team, it's hard to pick the Chargers to win a game because of Brandon Staley. Like, I think on paper, the Chargers are quite a bit more talented team other than like the quarterback and one tight end position. They should win this game in terms of talent versus talent, in terms of what they can put on the field versus what the Chiefs can put on the field, except for literally 2 positions, maybe like 3 or 4 on if you count defense. I'm not sure. But again, it's just the coaching situation. The quarterback play, I guess, is so much different. It's just got to go to the Chiefs. Again, the coaching is the big thing here. I feel like if the Chargers had better coaching, they could be like a 5-1 team in terms of the talent on the team. Even with the injuries they're dealing with, it seems like they should be better than this. Fucking Staley, man. That's rough. He's really wasting a super team. But again, this should probably be the last year of Brandon Staley. So, you know, I like how my entire Chiefs versus Chargers analysis is shitting on Staley, but it's like, we all know that the Chargers will keep it close. The Chiefs aren't that great this year. They're finding ways to win, which is how good teams operate, but they're not like the world beaters they were, and the Chargers should be able to take this game. But their coaching is just so miserable. Sunday Night Football. This is, I forgot about this game. This is game of the week. We got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. With the Eagles are 2.5-point favorites with an over-under of 52.5. Dolphins coming off a beating of the Panthers 42-21, and the Eagles are coming off a 20-14 loss to the Jets. I like the Eagles in this one for a couple reasons. I think the loss was humbling for the Eagles. I think they're going to come out super focused, ready to play. I think part of the reason they lost to the Jets was looking ahead to the Dolphins, which does happen. Even good teams can be caught lacking, caught looking ahead, caught sleeping on their opponent, which is basically what I think the Eagles happened last week. And again, sometimes those losses are good to happen because then you come out versus a 5-1 team, refocused, re-readied, re-edgified. Your team's sharp. Everything's going to be crisp this week in practice. Everybody's going to be ready to go, play, perform, and really put things out there. And again, Miami's defense has been not the greatest. We've seen that against the Dolphins or against the Bills this year when they got kind of beat up on. They gave up 21 to again, it's kind of garbage time, so it doesn't really count. But again, the one weakness the Dolphins probably do have is their defense is prone to give up points. I don't know if Jalen Ramsey's going to be back for this game. I know he's practicing this week, but I don't think he's back in time. And if he is, how effective is he going to be? So that's why I'm kind of leaning Eagles. I kind of like that they're coming into this with this refocused edge after a tough loss. And again, the Dolphins defense has been questionable at times. It was their Achilles heel last year. It's been somewhat this year when they played decent teams. Now, the Dolphins offensively will be able to stay in this game and make it really good because they have, if the best, if not one of the best offenses in the NFL. And, you can't really take that away. But again, that defense has been just so weird. The one game they lost is because their defense couldn't contain a good offense. And they're going up against kind of a similar offense in the Eagles, not exactly the same as the Bills, but kind of like the shells are similar. So I wonder if the Dolphins have the ability to defend an offense with a super mobile quarterback, playmaker receivers, decent run game. So you got to kind of think about those things with this game. Will this be the game of the week? Oh yeah, this is going to be a good one. We finally get another good primetime game. I'm so excited. I don't think there's a wrong pick in this game, but I'm leaning Eagles. So I'm interested to see what everyone says about that one. That one's going to be the fun one to look at. All right, we got the 49ers and the Vikings. The 49ers are favored by 7 with an over-under of 44. We've gone over their games. The 49ers lost. The Vikings lost. I I can't pick Minnesota in this game. Even though the 49ers just got humbled right there, I think they're going to come in super fired up, refocused, ready to play, similar to what happened to the Eagles. But the problem is they're playing Minnesota and not Miami. So Minnesota barely eked that game out against the Bears on like a walk-off scoop and score. Basically, it was a game-winning scoop and score. That was the difference. And yeah, if that's how you're gonna do it, I can imagine the 49ers just completely shut down the Vikings offensively, and defensively offensively I'd imagine the Niners play a little bit better against the Vikings defense that, you know, isn't the Browns defense. I got the 49ers winning quite easily, 20-13. All right, that's pretty much that for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's it. Week 7's done, down the drain in the garbage, getting ground up in the garbage disposaler. The disposaler. Anyway, but I appreciate you guys watching. If you made it all the way through, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, leave a comment with your picks, record, whatever. You know, all the YouTube mumbo jumbo that goes into a video. Yeah, that's about that for me though. Thanks for listening all the way through. Thanks for everyone helping out, getting the channel growing again, and all that fun stuff. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos. I enjoyed making them. Yeah, we'll review the Trevor Lawrence pick, and I think that's it for review picks this weekend, unless something crazy happens. I'm pretty sure these are my final picks, like, you know, still 0 pick changes. So all right, enjoy the rest of your day, night, morning, mid-afternoon, mid-evening, that time between like 4 and 7 where it's like, is this afternoon? Is it nighttime? What the hell is this? Midday? Mid-afternoon? What time is this? But enjoy whatever you do. Listen, I appreciate it. Have a good one. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, it's always, even though they suck, go Patriots. And look at that. I know how to stop this. I know how to stop it now. Watch.